Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Microsoft ain't out of the game, at least as far as mobile is concerned. You thought they were gone? No, they're not. And even if you already knew that they are running headstrong into the mobile foray again, there are people who didn't realize this, because we talk so much about Android and Apple's iPhone that we don't even consider Microsoft Windows Phone 7 as another really good smartphone choice for consumers, especially if you already live inside the world of Microsoft, whether it's the Xbox 360 today, Windows. If you didn't see what they have done with Windows Phone 7, that's what they're calling it today, you owe it to yourself to take a look. In fact, one of the first comments in the article that we linked here in the video's description from Janine Riley, she says, I was looking at the HTC Arrive with Sprint, and I wasn't sure about it because I really had no idea about Windows Phone 7. I think you just cinched it for me. Thanks. So just by posting this article, P is for potential, 10 possibilities for Windows Phone 7, we may have, basically scored Microsoft another customer. Or Microsoft, Nokia, that whole world is really interesting and full of, as we say, possibilities. We list out 10 reasons. 1, productivity. So we know that having a smartphone is generally a smart thing, but you need to have software running in conjunction with the hardware. And you don't think that Microsoft understands software? That's their business, is software. So yeah, of course, you're going to see plenty of productivity apps coming down the pike over the coming months and years. They're not going to abandon this, guys. It's not going anywhere. And that, I think, is probably Windows Phone 7's, or whatever they're calling this ecosystem. I think it's its biggest strength. It's not going anywhere, but everywhere, really. Perseverance. Microsoft isn't giving up. And I used to be a huge Microsoft phone fan back when they had the Pocket PC, and then they had, what did they call them after that? After they call it Pocket PC, what did they call it? They didn't call it Windows Phone. It was even before then. They've changed names so many times. It's so difficult to keep up. But the smartphones that I used before they were really smartphones, they were called PDAs back in the day, were Pocket PCs, and I loved them. And Microsoft's, they're not giving up, and I don't think they should. We need more options in the field. Competition's good. And keeping at it, Microsoft, believe me, I am in full support. Competition is a good thing. We need more alternatives, not fewer. Play. Now, if you think about what they're going to possibly do with, let's say, music subscription services, or specifically entertainment, right? They've nailed it with the Xbox 360 in ways that nobody else really has. So imagine being able to take that experience with you, kind of like what Sony's doing with the Vita in conjunction with the PS3. Microsoft could easily do the same thing, and you're more than likely going to be carrying around that phone anyway. So if you love the Xbox 360, it kind of goes without saying that you're probably also going to love living inside the world of the Windows Phone ecosystem. And again, I got to be careful about what I call it, because they may change its name. Microsoft's efforts in mobile. That's probably the easiest way to explain it. The bad name for it, but probably an easier way to explain it. Platform. They know platforms. Plenty. These things are not going to be in short supply. Possibility. And you never want to buy something based on its premise of what it could be eventually, but keeping in mind that it will go places, because they got the desktop version of Windows, they've got the Xbox 360 in your living room, now they'll have the Windows Phone experience in your pocket. They're going to start sewing all of these experiences together, much like Apple has been doing. Microsoft, they're starting to get it. And I think that if you already live inside of Windows and you have an Xbox 360, it makes more sense for you to get a Windows Phone than it might to even get an iPhone, or certainly an Android. You can make up your own mind. I'm just saying that for a more cohesive experience, the way they're driving, you could probably get a lot further with a Windows Phone 7 piece of hardware in conjunction with the software and the platform that allows all these apps to be created in a single experience. So long as Microsoft continues to understand it's one experience, I think you could be getting a Windows Phone 7 at some point in the future. Don't judge Microsoft on the products that it made last year. Even in the mobile products, the last time you saw it. Software is always evolving. Even if you judged iOS based on version 4.0, you're missing out on a lot because now it's iOS 5. If you judge Android on, let's say, Froyo, oh my god. I mean, you look at Ice Cream Sandwich, I mean, they're two completely different experiences. You can't judge hardware and software based on last year's revision. You just can't. So if you haven't thought about Windows Phone 7, there are a lot of P's at play. We've detailed even more, and thanks to Harold Johnson, who is a new contributor to Locker Room, he stayed up very late last night to get this article done, and we're very grateful for that. And I'm sure Microsoft is as well. Any other Windows Phone 7 users in our community? I'm just curious to know. See, look, Christian T says he could go for Windows Phone 7. It's actually kind of neat. This is not really a true endorsement. I'm just saying that it's not as bad as you might think it was the last time you looked at it. Take a look at what they got now. You just may be surprised.